You know what? It truly doesn't matter. When we play AFC North football, that's why we say you throw records out the window because everybody's vying for that top spot. Everyone's going to give the other team their absolute best. It doesn't matter what record is. It doesn't matter what the season record is, what the past record is. It's really about trying to win the division.
Everybody, happy Wednesday. I'm Missi Matthews. Welcome to Steelers Live. It is, of course, the week the Steelers are preparing for their first AFC North game. The Cleveland Browns coming here to Heinz Field Sunday at 1 o'clock. We will hear much more from Ben Roethlisberger a little bit later in the show, but the Steelers did return to practice today at the UPMC Bruni Sports Complex. So there was a lot of guys in terms of the injury report to keep an eye out, but there was some good news in terms of offensive lineman Stefan Wisniewski. He was out at practice today. We'll explain that in just a minute. In terms of not practicing, Ben Roethlisberger usually takes Wednesday off, as you can see, not injury related. Deontay Johnson, though, back injury against the Eagles. He did not practice. Juju did not practice with a knee injury. Pouncey with his foot injury. DeCastro also hurt in the Eagles game. And then somebody new to the list, Eric Ebron, a hand injury to it, also getting a vet's day off. Another one to keep an eye on, TJ Watt dealing with a shoulder injury. He was limited today, but the good news, Derek Watt and Marcus Allen, who missed the Eagles game, as Coach Tomlin told us yesterday, possibly able to return this weekend against the Browns. But as I mentioned, Wisniewski, number 61, was out there. He was able to return to practice today, but does remain on the reserve injured list. He has 21 days to be activated to the Steelers' 53-man roster. If he is not activated during that portion, he cannot return to the active roster for the rest of the 2020 season, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But would be a good sign in terms of special teams if Derek Watt and Marcus Allen are able to go, so we will keep you posted on that. Congratulations are in order for the Steelers rookie wide receiver Chase Claypool in his performance against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. We know about his 4 touchdowns. He had 7 receptions for 110 yards. 3 of those touchdowns were receiving. He also scored on a 2-yard rush. So congratulations to him. But Ben Roethlisberger today, when he was speaking to the media, not only talking about Chase, but also the entire wide receivers room, including Juju Smith-Schuster, who is the most veteran in terms of years of service. And Ben said there was something that made him especially proud when he walked into the locker room following Sunday's win. Take a listen.
You know, it's interesting because when I came in the locker room after this last week, I wasn't sure what the demeanor was going to be from the other receivers, to be perfectly honest. And I looked over, because obviously Chase had an amazing day. And I looked over at Juju to kind of see what his reaction, because he's our number 1 receiver. And I looked over at him, and he had the biggest smile on his face. He was, and it's not because Chase was right there with him. Chase wasn't even next to him. He had the biggest smile. He was having fun with other guys. And I just can't say enough about him and what that meant to me, what it meant to other guys, and how proud we are of him, that he truly was happy for Chase. He was happy that we won the game. Did he have huge stats, Juju? No, but we won the game, and that's all that matters. And so I think for a number 1 receiver to feel that way in the locker room, I told my wife about it. I told my closest friends about it. Like, that just made me really proud and made me happy that we have selfless guys in this team that are more about the win than they are, trying to get their stats. So I can't say enough about Juju and what that meant after the game.
All right, and speaking of quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, off to one of the best starts of his career through the Steelers' first 4 games. His completion percentage, 69.9%. Passing yards per game, about 254. Also 10 touchdowns and 1 interception. Ben discussed the part of his game that he feels the best about this morning.
You know, I'm just trying not to turn the ball over. Obviously, I'm not putting up big passing numbers and, yards per attempt, all those things. But to me, I just don't want to turn the ball over. And so that's the biggest thing I'm trying to work on. And that's going to be the biggest challenge this week, because this team, I think, pretty sure leads the league in turnovers.
All right, here is Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield in their game against Indy last Sunday that they won. Baker Mayfield was injured in terms of his ribs in that game. He did have x-rays. They said they came back okay, but he was limited today in practice on Wednesday, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. But the Browns are leading the AFC in scoring, averaging 37.5 points per game during their 4-game winning streak. Here is one of the defensive captains, Cam Hayward, on how to stop Baker and company.
think Baker does a really good job of, buying extra time with his feet. Sometimes drifting away from the pocket to create depth and more time for his receivers. And he's doing a great job of it. Only one loss on the season. His escapability is something we have to be on point with. But, I like the challenge and we'll be up for it.
All right, we are going to have much more on this game between the Steelers and Browns tomorrow on the matchup show, so make sure you join us for that. That's going to do it for this edition of Steelers Live. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow.